Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm going to belittle the intro. We've already started. We're here. You know what it is. I don't have to say the same thing every week. Man, this episode
recap and record, baby.
This is insane. It's up there as probably one of the greatest television episodes that we've ever seen in our entire lives. And so, I mean,
yeah, this goes up there with Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah.
Hard Home. Like, this is one of them ones,
Yeah.
man. In terms of like, this is man.
Yeah, this one. So this,
other than like I'm saying like in maybe this series.
Yep.
I mean, you got the finale from last year was crazy. This one was memorable, man.
So,
like,
so here's a fact for you. This episode is now the highest rated episode of the series on IMDb, holding a 9.7 out of 10.
Let's go.
It ties 5th highest in the franchise of the Game of Thrones series with the Reigns of Kashmir with a 9.9.
Oh man, that was sad. That was crazy.
Home 9.8, Battle of Bastards 9.9, and the Winds of Winter 9.9. So
it's up there. Like, I mean, it might not be. You said 9.5 or 9.7?
9.7.
Yeah, it's up. Yeah, I knew because I did see a rating thing and like Hard Home and Battle of Bastards that was up there and all that. Yeah, Reigns. Yeah, I mean that's when Robb Stark getting killed. Yeah, I mean Red Wedding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this was up there. Like and just didn't know where it was going. Like that, they did a good job, man. Didn't really know where it was going. I remember last week when you looked at the preview, like, oh, I seen a crown hit the ground, and we thought, thinking that was significant. That wasn't even. That was just subterfuge. That really didn't mean it. It did mean something, but it didn't mean anything.
In the end, I mean, it all kind of came full circle there, I think, and there's going to be obviously answers that we still need to have yet. So. Man, so jumping right in, just a little bit of housekeeping before we dive into the episode fully here. So, man, let's talk about this for just a minute. Spoilers, okay? So I know, we have facts, we have Twitter, we talk after the episode, and I feel like that's okay as a recap show, right? Like,
of course,
we're all on the same page.
But yes, it's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler after the episode comes out. You know what I mean? Like, especially for a show like this. And because we all know the rules. When there is a appointment TV type of situation, like Game of Thrones, like, whether other genres, you know what I mean, other shows that people like watch at the same time and we're all reacting. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't even live react to House of the Dragon, and I don't even think I live reacted too much to Game of Thrones. But when an episode drops, it's like you're supposed to avoid it until you see it, and you can't complain about spoilers. But yeah, what happened this past weekend is a little different, but yeah, you can go in on that.
Yeah, man, so it started, I saw the first tweet on maybe like the 4th of July, like Thursday or Friday. I saw one tweet, and that's why I didn't take it for anything. I saw it super early. And then I think I even texted you about it. Yes. So whenever that text came in, and then just
you texted me Saturday. I think you texted me Friday and then Saturday.
Yeah, and then
but
Saturday,
I avoided it, like you said. I just didn't even look.
Saturday, man, the floodgates just opened, and it was just nothing but R.I.P. We're gonna miss you, etc., etc. Well, obviously, everyone knows, and we'll get to it. But it's just like, I understand that there's the book. It's the book, right? So
is it the book?
It's the book readers, and
y'all need to shut the fuck up, man.
Right. Yeah, right. Like I and then that just proved my point, because I said it last week, like somebody has to die, and I said if Mother T goes, I'm gonna I might have to off myself like Sir Eric did. Like, I don't know like how to handle it. And then when I saw all of the tweets and everything pouring in just days before the episode, it just it ruined it. I knew it was coming. I told Megs about it. Like, she was upset, not really, but it's one of those things that it's very interesting. And like, I like that. I like spoilers. Like I will listen.
I don't mind it to an extent. I don't mind it to
listen. Yeah, like I listen to a movie podcast before seeing the movie just to see if I would even like the whole thing or not, to find out if it's going to be a waste of time. You know?
Yeah,
so,
and I know a lot of people don't like that. I know some people that don't even read the descriptions. I know some people that don't like to watch the trailer before, and I'm like, no, like it's there for a reason. Like especially if we're about to dig into something, like maybe for the casual watcher or something like that. But like if we're digging into something, no, I want to see if it kind of matches. And I like what they do when they do put some subterfuge in there, like when they put distractions in there that don't really mean as much, and just kind of uncovering it. So I don't mind it. But yeah, there was a tweet I seen, and George Martin said there's two universes. You know what I mean? He said there's yeah, so it's like, but all right, the book readers, y'all gotta chill, man. Like you just gotta chill, because we not reading. Like I'm gonna be honest, I'm not reading these books.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I'm never reading these books. I'm never doing that.
No,
so
and that's hey, and to just even double that point, I think in the same interview, R.R. Martin said like episode 1, Blood and Cheese, 1,000 times worse in the book. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah, and I've heard that too. That it's like, no, you should have read. And I'm like, no, that's fine. Like that's cool. You know, that's fine. Like I don't need to know what he did. Like probably this. Yeah, probably this. Yeah. I mean, if you think there's depravity in the show, like I can imagine that old man wrote some crazy stuff in the
right. I'm sure. I mean, I guess all that aside, it's fine. But the episode still had some surprises. So, this episode.
So for this week coming up, if you could, that was great what you sent me. You sent me some stills, because I'm always looking for good quality pictures.
Yeah.
And so if you could do that again, because I'll use these for this week, and it'll help with the clips and stuff. But if you find like a good, a bunch of stills, do that. Keep doing that, bro.
I got you.
And also housekeeping, because we've been doing this for a little bit, and me and Levi, we share like access to this account and things like that. But like I didn't realize that I never posted a short for recap. I never posted that one short for actual recap and recording, and I was like, what? And so like, all right, now, and then I realized I thought I didn't have access, and then I was like, oh, we're on. I'm on here. So you're gonna start getting the shorts. I might have to backlog some shorts, and you might see some throwbacks on there. But yeah, man, please subscribe to the channel, man. We putting out great content every week. Yeah, every week. It's great. I don't, you know what I mean? So
I low key think our episode last week was probably like one of the best we've done on this show. So I'm down, man. So this, so then let one last bit of news before we dive in completely. Confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms continues filming, and we're getting an early 2025 release. So we'll be back here.
So who like, do you have any context? Who is that about? What time period? What night? You know what I mean? Because like, does he belong to a certain house? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, let me see.
In general.
Let me see if I saved. Yeah, here it is. So it follows the two characters, Dunk and Egg. And that's all this one says. I don't know if I have any more. I think I just have names, but I think it's another 100 years.
Okay, but yeah, like, is it a Baratheon? Are they Martells? Are they from the Vale?
A century before the events of the New York Times bestseller R.R. Martin's main series, A Song of Ice and Fire, a squire named Dirk picks up a sword and shield of his dead master and enters a tournament to begin his career as a knight. Okay, so a century before Jon Snow.
Okay.
100 years, yeah.
Okay, this is 200 years, so then it's in the middle of smack dab in the middle of House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones.
Dude, I looked up. I'll have to find it again and send it to you. But like, I looked up like the who sat on the throne, like who was king. There's like we've got like 15 Targaryens.
Oh, of course.
There's like so many. There's like so and like dude, and then like 90 of them are named Aegon. Like, Lord help me
Yeah.
if we ever get that far in the show. It's just like,
Yeah, and I guess I'm interested to see how far does this go? How
right,
many seasons? Like, what's the plan? Like,
right,
I wish we could know that. Like, the
yeah,
plan for this. Like,
yeah,
is it gonna be? Are we getting 5 seasons? Are
yeah.
we getting 3? Are we getting 4? Are we getting
I
7? You know what
I
I'm
would
saying? Like,
imagine they would keep it the same as Game of Thrones. Like, isn't that a thing? Like, how many seasons of Better Call Saul did we have? Was it
like
five,
six, five or
six?
six, six. I
Okay,
think it was 6.
okay, so
Yeah.
almost the same as Breaking Bad. I don't know. I would assume they would do 8, but I then does that take us like how much more of the war do we have? Then
Yeah.
what's next? The reign of the next king. So good.
Well, yeah, that's interesting you say that because that's the one thing I would say about this show so far though, even in this season, like because Game of Thrones has always been like if you see somebody on the screen, like they matter or they mean something to somebody, like everybody's interconnected.
Yep.
One thing I'll say though is that especially Rhaenyra's council, we don't know them people like all right, they're name dropping and stuff like that, but like we never got a full like
Right.
who this guy is, who this guy is, who
Right.
this guy is. We
Yep.
just know that they have allegiance to him. But like
Yeah.
as ornery and chaotic as they are, it's
Yeah.
like can we know exactly who these people are? Because I mean, there's a lot of strategy involved, but like, what does it mean? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and if it's not a Stark, if it's not a Tully, if it's not an Aaron or a Baratheon or more, if it's not one of those big, if it's not a last name of those bigger houses, we don't know who these people are and
Right.
like why do they matter? You know what I'm
We're
saying?
still
So
building. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
There's
so it's
still
like so are we gonna like these people that we're seeing are they gonna matter? I mean, because you think about Game of Thrones, man, they gave us all the houses. Like
yeah.
we had highlights of all the houses at
Right.
different point in times. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like we learned about the Tyrells. We learned all about, the
Uh-huh.
Baratheons. We learned all about, what's the old man name that also that yeah, we learned about all these different people. I
Yeah.
mean, so it's like, are they gonna expand? Because yeah, it is a lot of Targaryen Hightower type stuff and Valerians, but like we're not really getting who these other people are yet.
Right, right. Well, and then maybe like tonight's episode, we get more answers along the way to kind of
Yes.
push certain stories forward. So no, I completely I get it. Right. In this series, we're really focused on these Targaryens and these high towers of this period and this time, and it's not doing much to expand this vast Game of Thrones universe that we know exists out there.
Yeah.
But like I'm pretty sure I read like we don't see Stark anymore in this season.
Oh
Like we
wow.
just know the armies
Okay.
might be coming. We might see some of their armies in the battles, but like as far as the Stark character that we opened with this season, I'm pretty sure like we don't see him again in season 2.
Yes.
So like there's got to be something happening like with the children of the forest or Hodor or fucking
Yeah.
whatever, like something's going on out there. Like why is that show not this and that? And then I guess the question is this minimal of a story in this vast universe enough? And I mean,
Yes.
it kind
Yes.
of is proving that it is, but I wonder how much more it could be improved upon if we had
Yes.
just a little bit, maybe less dialogue and B-roll from King's Landing, and we had a 5-minute scene with the Stark and company. That's all we would
Yes.
need
Yep.
to just
Yep.
satisfy that, maybe give it a 9.9 and have it up there as one of the top episodes. Maybe that's a factor of the show's, not as the
Yeah,
highest
and
rank.
and I think because Game of Thrones had 3 major story arcs. I
Yeah.
mean, this only has like one
Right,
it's only
right,
one
right,
arc for
right,
but like we had, you had the North,
right.
and all the wildling, you know what I mean? You had that arc, you had the King's Landing arc, and then, you had
We got
just
Daenerys, then we got
yeah,
who's
yeah,
Jon Snow's parents, and
Daenerys on the
then
other exactly,
right,
exactly. And so but yeah, we're only really getting one major arc
yeah,
and one major conflict, but like I'm sure they are gonna do some things, but it's like it doesn't feel like it though. At the moment, it feels like all right, we're just which is cool, but still, we're getting a lot of unknown. There's so much unknown. I feel like
Yeah.
that we're not exploring. So
Yeah, no, yeah, totally agree. And again, we're still getting little bits and pieces, and we'll get to some of them in the moments that I think they're trying to fill those gaps with those families and such. So, and it would seem like maybe that's where they're going with the rest of the prequel series too, because the Knight of Seven Kingdoms just seems like it's a more comical, like, hey, you got the armor. It's his journey to becoming a knight. Great. Like that doesn't really play a role in who's king, who's queen in the
exactly.
ultimate Game of Thrones. It's just kind of this side story of this B character that we don't really need to get to. Like he's not going to be important probably. We don't even know the character's name at this point.
Yeah.
So very interesting to see how that all unfolds. Yeah, man, this episode, directed by a man named Alan Taylor. He's known for directing pretty much all those other high-ranking Game of Thrones episodes. This is who they call in when they need the big guns.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, his resume is pretty proven at this point. So we start with another dream with Daemon.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
Bad dreams. A lot of bad dreams.
We'll get to his journey here towards the end of the episode as well too. But I guess my like, where is this man's? Is it messing with his head too? Because if this was just continuously happening and being haunted by this spitting image of Rhaenyra, she took my crown. Like everyone knows it. It's now in the open. It's his number one insecurity. I
Yeah.
keep cutting bitches' heads off, and they're still talking to me. And did you see he woke up with blood on his hands? Like, so what's real? What's not?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of scary. Like, why would you subject yourself? Like, why would you not send a raven back? Like, what's the...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not sure exactly what his plan is, and maybe that's just part of the psychosis messing of the castle, the curse of Harrenhal, like telling him, no, you don't need to send a raven, or we already did, but he didn't, or he dreamt he did, or something. Like, I'm very, very, very mystified or kind of curious about this whole situation with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it though. Like, yeah, I mean,
Right.
because it's like this is not, and I get it. Everybody has
He
to
should be
have
our
their
front runner. He should be starting the war. Like the war was his idea, and he's at Harrenhal just walking around.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, and I guess every character has, especially a flawed character like that, has to go through their own journey. That's not just conflict with a person, but it's that inner turmoil. And sure he has to go through that, but it's like Damon, I need you to snap out of it because shit done hit the fan and we need your help. And it was telling because, and later on we'll talk about it, but everybody's like, yo, there's nobody here to we have no general. We have nobody telling us what to do. And like, that's so irresponsible. Like, it kind of is irresponsible. Like, sure, Rhaenyra, you had to have that conversation, but like, you can't be going that long, and like you're going long enough that everybody's annoyed.
Yeah, well, and especially when he started the season being pissy about Rhaenyra and her extra long grieving process. Like, give her 20 minutes, her son just died, but he's ready to ride the dragon and go to battle. But now all of a sudden we're depressed at Harrenhal. And it's just like his best plan of action is this is the best we've come up with, is to get the grandson of the dying king to either your options are put a pillow over his face and presume your role and give me your army, or B, speak on his behalf, or C, get the fuck out. And so like, what do you expect? You expect the kid to just treason at 12 years old? Like, this is your best plan to get the army?
Yep. I know. Yeah. And that's why it's like, as much as he is beating himself up about not being king, this just shows you like Daemon is not fit to be anybody's ruler. You know what I mean? Like if anything, he would be the Mad King. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was given the reins, he would be the Mad King and he'd be doing stuff that he ain't supposed to be doing. And but yeah, it was going up to little Oscar Tully and not really you didn't even really have a plan. Like, and then and you didn't, you just kind of let it go, like like there was like
Okay, that's it,
exactly
right.
like show, but also too like can you show us this man on the deathbed? Can you show Oscar, taking Daemon to River Run, and like, and I guess that could come, but it's like yeah, we're like stalled out right now. We're in neutral. Like Damon's in neutral, and it's like, bro, I need you to put this shit in drive, bro, and
Yeah.
like and
Yeah.
get some shit done, because you're wasting valuable time, and your army needs you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Your side really needs you, and you're not even gathering the troops that you need.
Right.
But it
Right.
was interesting because so we did get a clarification. So yes, Blackwood, like, so remember I was like, oh, I think that one kid back in the day was Bracken, but no,
Yes.
he killed a Bracken.
Yeah.
The young boy was a Blackwood,
Yeah.
and he was talking to that same young man. Like
Yes.
that was the
Yes, I put it in the post. I put a note on the episode. It says Carlos was right. Yeah. Yeah. You were.
yeah,
That
so
was him.
because he was like, yeah, I vied for her hand back in
Yeah.
the
It
day,
was
and I
him. There's
always
a
liked her
picture. Yeah.
spirit, and I was like,
I have. Yep.
like that's the young
Yep.
boy, like
Yep.
he's a grown man now, like.
Yep.
So that was
Yeah.
cool. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So yeah, man. We'll get to more of Damon in a minute, but it's just kind of this. It's this interesting situation, and I guess we just have to chalk it up to the curse of Harrenhal, and that's
yep.
kind of what the Green alludes to a little later. But first, we get our first answer of all answers. Like we said on as we started this call. I thought at first, I was like, ooh, like Rhaenys and Alan, like, is that going to be a thing before she goes? Like, what's that going to
Yes.
look like? And then when she said what she said about his mother, like, I'm like, oh shit. She sees a young Corlys in him. The Corlys that she fell in love with is this exact man. And she knows exactly where this child came from. And so issues right off the bat.
There's
Issues.
definitely issues right off the bat. She found his secret baby. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? His
Yep.
secret son. I am interested to know. I wonder, like, are both of those kids his sons? You know what I mean? Like the brother as well. Is that also his son? Also, I guess I'm wondering, like, how old is he compared to like Bela and
Right.
well, I
He,
guess Bela is not his kid, but yeah, how old is he compared to Lena,
yeah.
Lenor, and yeah, Lena, who's now deceased.
Yeah, he seems older. He seems like he's in his like late 20s, 30s, maybe at least. I don't.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so, but this also kind of, as soon as I saw this, kind of maybe solidifies my theory last week when they had the debate and argument of like who's going to take Corlys's, ruling power when he passes.
yes.
It's probably going to be your boy Alan.
Well,
Like,
in the books, because like having to look up this Alan Valerian, it says he marries Bela.
oh shit. Well, there you
So
go.
that
Yeah.
means that Jace at some point dies, because you don't just get remarried. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not in this show. Maybe not in this show. But like, but yeah, then he's named in the lore. He's named Alan Valerian.
Okay.
But then it says that he married Bela, and I'm like,
Okay.
Bela got a husband. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
we'll
Well,
see. We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. So first answers of the day, and I mean they just obviously they kind of be same thing that all guys do when the wife brings up the affair. We just brush it off like it never ever happened, and we don't talk about it, and we change the subject.
Yeah, he's like, this is this did he say, is this like an inquisition or
No,
something? Like,
yeah, she
like,
was right because she was pressing him like you didn't think this was important to tell me, and he was like, no, thought about it, didn't wanna. Hey, guess what? I finished the ship. You want to see it? And then she's like, nah, I gotta go. I got shit to do. Like we're at
yeah.
war, Corliss. Like, and so they're just yeah. I mean, not very good terms to end on there for them, but unfortunately. That was almost the wrap, right?
So yeah, that's the thing too. I'm wondering, because what the parallels it gives me is it gives me Tully, Lady Tully, and how she treated like Jon Snow. Like, so like if there was to be a relationship, now granted we know the outcome of Rhaenys and where she goes, but yeah, like if he was around, would she have accepted him anyway? And maybe that's why he didn't bring it up or anything like that, because he just knows, like, hey man, like, it's I'm a man out in sea.
Yeah. sometimes these situations will correct themselves. Like we don't have to necessarily spill all the secrets unless they actually need to be spilled, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're keeping score. So Daemon's dream beheading young Rhaenyra again. One beheading of the episode so far, and one secret baby of the episode so far as well. Right, Alan?
Yes.
The love affair child. Man, it's very interesting. Very interesting there. Any other notes on that scene?
Oh no, that was just it was just I just noticed how she grabbed his face and like just was like, wow, your mother must have been, she said comely, which
Yes.
I don't know. I guess I'm assuming that's positive.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I don't talk like that. But
yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought it was interesting, but it was just like it was the aha moment. Like I knew, like like they're trying to add this up.
Yep.
All right. But and again, we're getting at least he's getting some purpose because it was still like, what the hell is he here for?
Yep.
Like, but yeah, that's his son. So
yep.
kudos to the research, man. So
so then we cut straight to Alicent and just her next day. And she just orders some room service, a little midnight tea.
The midnight tea? No, you mean that Plan B tea?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget that. No, yeah. So the Plan B tea is back in season 2. The first time we seen it was in season 1. We were like, what the fuck is this? Like what? Like, yo, they got abortion. They got Plan B abortion tea in Westeros. And like, yes, she done took her Plan B tea.
Nicole baby. Thank goodness.
And that's the thing, man. So she's really playing with fire here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Literally.
And I want to know, what are the consequences of female fornicators? Because this is still a man's world. I mean, Westeros is still, even though we got the girl power or whatever, this is still a man's world. So men are allowed to fornicate. You know what I mean? Right. And have secret babies and things like that. But like, that's never, we don't see that with women. And the Queen Dowager, like, and the man that she chose to sleep with, it's a knight. So he's not even supposed to be having sex. So like, I'm interested, because obviously there is consequences and she knows she has to dead this thing, whatever. But like, what are the consequences? What would happen if she was pregnant?
Yeah, I think,
you get shamed out of the kingdom.
Well, no, she would probably, or they would have to do what Rhaenyra did and play it off. They would have to lie. They would have to say that it's,
put it on somebody else.
They would have to say that,
hurry up, get married to some other man.
Right. Yeah. And then that's got to be it, right? And then, because I think then it just becomes illegitimate. Then their claim to the throne becomes, the whole family gets muddled. Like you can't recognize that stuff. Then you got to give it the bastard name, right? You got to name it Rivers or something or whatever. It's like, but then on the flip side to what you just said, it's still a man's world. What happens when Christian Cole finds out she drank this stuff and now he's got an issue because he's a Republican, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't believe in drinking the tea. Like he
don't believe in that. No, but see, if he was right wing, he'd be, you know what I mean? Because, they're all about marriage and all, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So he bring a lot of rules too. Though.
Right. Well, of course. No, I know, but it just,
no, you're right though. That's good. That's good.
I think, it was just an interesting shot there. I think, that her and like the Maester, like she's desperately trying, to rationalize. She needs someone to tell her that she made the right decision. Like, do you believe, like you were with him? Like, what did he say? Did he tell to you the Song of Ice and Fire? Like, what do you know? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, who in their right mind, like they have to call you Grace. Like they have to, like, who in their right mind would admit to the queen that her son is the illegitimate, like she'd be like, okay, Kings, can you come and just like, he's
because once you have that information, they're gonna do away with you
Right, like, and
automatically.
little buddy gave the perfect answer. He was like, "Oh no, Viserys never talked about shit like that with me. I don't know. Like, it's yeah, obviously he's the king. All hail the king, Aegon.
Yeah.
Woo,
Do
yeah,
you remember though when in last season when they were like plotting, he was one of the ones that was kind of like on the fence. He was like, wait, are we sure or whatever?" And then everybody was trying to shut him up. Like Hightower was trying to shut him up. Other guy was trying to shut him up. And then Tylan always makes like little comments like, "Oh, you think you know stuff because you just a maester." Like, "Oh, you think you know stuff," and it's like but it's like, yeah, he probably does know the details. Because they are versed in the histories.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's what a lot of that was a common theme in this. It was just trying to look back in history, trying to find answers.
Well,
But you got to ask the right people, and even if people do know, they got to feel like they trust you to reveal stuff.
You got a Masters of Whispers running around. You don't know what's coming next. You got Lars coming in and out of room. Like, yeah, and we'll more on that history to come later. I'm so intrigued with that. All right, guys, listen. We couldn't do season 2 of this podcast without bringing some extra friends along. So we have incredible news. We have partnered with Central PA's newest business opening here in the Camp Hill area. It's called Fantasy Axe Throwing. Okay. These guys are a perfect match for what we are doing right now because they're not just your typical axe throwing place with the modern lanes with chains and everything. It's just every room is a different theme. They've got their enchanted forest, they've got their Vikings room, they've got their warlock's lair, and they've got their king's castle. You can sit in the Iron Throne itself in the king's castle. So you know what I mean? Whether you're the king or whether you think it's Rhaenyra, like whoever wants to sit in the throne has to do so at Fantasy Axe Throwing. So what we have done is we've partnered with them, Los, and we've got a promo code, okay?
Okay,
so if you go to their website to book any hour of throwing on Sundays, that House of the Dragon is on. So if you book your Sunday appointment at Fantasy Axe Throwing, get it done in the evening, then head home for the 9:00 premiere of each week's episode. If you use promo code Westeros, you're going to get $5 off your ticket from the Recap and Record podcast. Savings on to you. So you can check out our friends at Fantasy Axe Throwing at their website and on Facebook and Instagram, fantasyaxethrowing.com. We'll have links on the screen and everything down below in the description for you to check out there. And of course, maybe if you're lucky, you'll catch Los and I there throwing axes. We've got our passes set up and reserved, so we're ready to go. You excited, man? I'm
excited. That's dope, man. I was like, dang, they got all the theme rooms. I'm like, yeah, that definitely takes it to a different experience. And then so you can have your own little team black, team green party. You know what I'm saying? Go there and then see who's really who's really on top.
Yep, and it's a BYOB establishment. They do sell light refreshments there and some snacks as well. Is family friendly. They like it to be 12 plus. So if you've got some younger ones, maybe in the teens there to start, but adults, families, parties, couples, date nights, make it happen.
Oh, we about to turn up,
dude. Fantasy Axe Throwing. I mean, yeah, it's great. So head to their website. You can see, click on the Book Now button. You can see all the available times, the rooms, and everything you need to get yourself booked and start throwing with our friends at Fantasy Axe Throwing.
Dope, real dope, man. Let's go because we're still talking about Alicent. Yeah. So let's kind of go into that small council scene, right? So and this is nobody, and this is where they're kind of plotting the war and things like that, and we got Aegon, right? Yeah. Aegon, he realizes that nobody respects him, right? Yeah. He's uninterested, but they're not even talking to him. Like they're having their own little discussion, but because they realize like this guy, everybody realizes it. Like this guy is not supposed to be the king. Like even if they can't say it out loud, they realize it, and to the point where they're not even including him in conversations. They're having side conversations, and he's talking about some like, "Oh, you guys bore me," but it's like, well, what I mean, you don't even realize that they're disrespecting you to your face, right? And
Yeah.
then it was just like this mic drop moment where I forget, I think it was Aemon or Allison asked him like, what would you have done? And I felt like that was like just a mic drop moment where, and it was just like he's like, he didn't have an answer. He didn't know what he would have done. But his mom said to him, she was like, later on, she was like, these men, they earned those seats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and just and it was funny because inside the episode, that's where like that was probably the worst thing that she could have said to him. And when she said that, like when he's like, "What am I supposed to do?" and she said, "Do nothing. Like do what we want you expect you to do, and that's nothing." And that was probably the worst thing that she could have said to him because he needs. That's the only person that kind of sugarcoats anything to him, and that was the first time that she was actually raw with her son.
Yeah.
But it probably was like the worst thing that she could have did because if she would have just said like, "No, you are needed here," and like just filled him up with pumped him up a little bit, he would have stayed put. But like since she gave him that like, "No, don't do nothing because you a fuck up,"
no,
he was like, "Well, I'm a fuck up, or I'm gonna jump on my dragon, then, bitch."
Well,
like,
and that right, and so in that entire moment, we there's a few things are learned, but yeah, like the Kingsguard. They're all idiots fumbling in line. Like they can't even wear their thing. It's just his college buddies. And so his mom, just another quote from her in that moment. Do you think because you wear the crown, it gives you wisdom? And so it just, and she's absolutely right. All these men worked for their roles. Viserys, his father, everybody. You were just here because this is who you are and this is what happened, and you were lucky to be born first. To the point that that now your brother is essentially running your kingdom. Your brother has the war plans already mapped out. He's sending secret messages to Cole, and Cole is just executing out of Aemon's plan for some unknown reason. I don't really understand why that's the case. Like if Christian Cole is the Kingsguard, right? He's a leader of the Kingsguard, he's a knight. He is sworn to protect the king, and he's the hand of the king. He's got the necklace around his neck, and for whatever reason, he's plotting behind his back with Aemond. For whatever reason, he's plotting behind his back to send Ser Erich on an assassination attempt. So I guess because Aegon praised him for the Erich thing, maybe he thought this Aemond plan would be like his second gold star. I don't know. But it just seems like, man, that scene with Aemon coming in with the plan to go to Rook's Rest. And then he's like, no, brother, we need to forget about Harrenhal. It's garbage. Lars is sitting there saying the same thing. Like, let Harrenhal destroy Daemon. Like, don't even worry about that.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. Yeah.
And he's like, I got all their gold anyways. So let's focus on this plan that I think your brother has. And it's like... And then, dude, the High Valyrian, the language, just fucking,
I love it,
smothering his brother into the ground for embarrassing him at the brothel the night before. Speaking in perfect tongue when Aegon knows maybe he's on his second lesson of
Babel.
of what the fucking app.
At Babel or
Babel, he's on his second lesson of Babel when it comes to Valyrian, because it's just like he knows nothing. And his brother is spinning him around his finger like a little fucking coin. And it's just like, ooh, like talk about revenge, talk about being put in your place. And that's obviously inevitably what leads us to his demise, but it's
and it's so the parallel between Daemon and Aemon is so interesting because they are both second sons, but like you got one that was passed over, one that's not necessarily passed over, but he's just not. It's not his turn, so to speak. And how like it's just funny how like one, even though he probably had more, he has a lot of ambition to want it. He's not fit to be it, and then you got the other one who is very fit to be it, but like. He got somebody standing in his way, and he tried to get that obstacle out of his way real quick.
Yeah,
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there. And we get a reminder from Alicent in these scenes as well. I guess just one more to kind of wrap her up here. So she's then visited by Lars, and so not only does Lars and her reveal, they reveal a few things in this scene. One, he knows she's bullshitting about some raspberry pie bullshit, whatever, stomach issues.
Lamprey pie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like I think
Right.
there's some type of like animal, I think. But
So he knows all about the baby. He
Yep.
probably knows whose it is as well.
And
I'm
he's the
sure.
worst person to know. He's the worst person
Now
to
you
have
gotta
that information.
Now you got to let homeboy jerk off to your feet again. Now he's got one over you, Alicent. And with Sir Cole off at war, it's going to be pretty easy to get that favor done. So,
but that's what I'm saying, and that's the thing too. These women, all these women, even Rhaenyra, just dumb and reckless. Like, yeah, sure, all right, it's a little girl power, but it's like y'all are both dumb. Like y'all are both dumb as hell.
Yeah,
and y'all just doing shit. Y'all just out here doing shit, and this is like this almost justifies why their world has been the way it's been because it's like. No, man, like a man can make a rash, reckless decision and it's we'll fix it, whatever. But like some of these decisions that these women are making, it's like, yo, y'all are really putting people in danger. Yeah, that's the last person you want. And that's the thing too. It's like I get that you let people into your room, however, but it's like if you did something like take a Plan B pill, it's crazy to let somebody into your room and like the package essentially is just on the table.
Right.
Like
right. Like you just put the pregnancy test in the trash can bit. Like I wasn't gonna see it sitting on top.
Yeah, you didn't dispose it of it at
all.
all. Like
toss
you
that
just
shit out the window. What do you mean?
Something. Yeah, go. I mean, if you got a place with a dumpster, like put it out in the dumpster. Something.
Or
like,
here's just another thing. Why you got Lars in the bedroom?
Yeah, maybe like, and that's the thing too.
Let's have a room that we meet Lars in. Let's call it the Lars room, and just go there if you need to.
You can't come in my room, bro. You can't come all the way in my room. Like, and stop just saying come in. Like, don't stop yelling for another. No, I'm like opening the door, peeking out. Like,
right.
who that?
Right. Like I got a peephole. Hold on. Oh, it's Lars.
My room ain't decent. Like, you can't come in here. You can,
it's very strange. And so then the second thing that we get out of that scene is all of the books, and Lars alludes to Alicent's interest in history, and she didn't say it, but I thought it was obvious. She's looking for the Song of Ice and Fire. She's trying to validate Rhaenyra's claims and her points, and if she can find this and be like, shit, well, then maybe she did make a mistake, but she's just, again, using the books, I think, just looking for that secret, that just to see if is Rhaenyra bullshitting right now. Does she make it up? And obviously, I don't think she's not going to find anything, right? They've never written it down.
No, I don't think. Yeah, it's on that blade. Like it's on the you know what I mean? And like I said, it's handed down. It's from ruler to heir. Yeah. It's not public information. Like secret society. All we ask is trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So, and then lastly with Alicent, she gives us the timeline. And again, I think you might have alluded to this last week or the week before, but it's only been 2 weeks. Like the killing of the boy, season 1, all of the stuff in all of these episodes that we've seen now, it's been like 4 days. So,
sure. But she's obviously, that's why I wonder, like, how long has she been smashing Cole?
Right.
For years, months, you know what I mean? Like, because obviously when Viserys becomes an invalid, you know what I mean, can't perform. Like, what was that turning point? I wondered, like, where it was like, hey, we're gonna get down. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I know you could keep a secret. You messed with princesses before. What's up?
Yeah, and so then back to the Blacks. No, Rhaenyra obviously didn't tell anyone where she was going last episode, and so she's presumably been missing on a secret mission. And so her son and his wife are trying to keep calm at the Black Council. But obviously, as we see, that power kind of gets diluted when the youngsters and the women of the room attempt to take control. Right?
Yes. Yeah, and a lot of no-name people complaining. Yeah, I mean, especially that one guy. It's like, who
Right.
are you, bro?
Right.
Like you talking a lot, and we don't even know. We don't even. That's my problem. It's like you got a lot of dip on your chip, and we don't even know who you are, bro. We don't even know why you matter, and you talking all this trash.
Right.
But then,
But and it's
Big Papa Corliss comes
yep,
in,
yep,
shut all y'all the fuck up.
yep, laying down the
Oh my
law,
lord.
and
Oh
it's
my. Oh, it's my lord. Then. Oh, it's my lord now.
well,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that's just like, and it's just like, so, and then that's just, and but they're not even saying anything because like their
They're
only
not.
solution is send the dragon,
Bernie.
use the dragon, use the dragon, and it's like, bro, what do you think? We can just use the dragon to solve all world problems? Like, no, like it.
Yeah.
So it's very, yeah, Corliss coming in and kind of laying down the law, and then Rhaenyra to follow quickly after. Jace giving her friggin' some tongue in this scene, just kind of
Ooh,
a
yeah,
little
talking back to his
disrespect. Like,
mama.
where you at? Like, fuck off. No,
Where
where
were
were you,
you?
bitch? Like, you should have
Where
checked
were you?
in. Right. Like, we're over here running a war just in case you didn't know. You were with Allison?
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't think she was gonna spill the beans.
Right.
Did you think she was gonna spill the beans?
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, she's known as this peace giver, so sure, why not? I mean, obviously there wasn't a backfire, but I mean, yeah, like they said,
Dumb and
risky move.
reckless. Dumb and reckless.
Yeah.
Like it's like,
Yeah.
yo, you could have been killed. You could have
Yeah.
been captured. Like,
Yeah.
what is all this? If you die, mom, this was for nothing.
Right.
This
And then that's it. It's
ends.
game over. Right. Then either right
Then
as
they're
soon
gonna
as
then we gotta swear our fealty to
yeah.
them,
Right.
or we're all dead.
Right.
And we're
Right.
probably gonna, and it's really the latter. We're dead. Like we're
Yep.
all dead if
Yep.
you don't step it up, whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I like Jace kind of telling his, reading his mom for who she is. I mean,
Yep.
like his mom's a liar. Yeah, she's a liar, bro. She's a liar. She's sneaky. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like men, you don't even, if you're a ruler as a man in this world, you don't even get to be sneaky. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever.
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. These women is sneaky.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the
It's
women on this show are mad sneaky, bro. Like,
yeah, well, no, I know it's because right. I mean, like we see it, we witnessed it. They publicize it. Like, I
yeah,
mean, you know what I mean? She came back and she's like, "Yeah, I went and saw Allison. So what? I knew it was risky. It's my job. It's my duty. I'm the queen. Shut up." You know,
yep,
like it's
yep,
get over it. You know, it's risky. It's
yep,
risky. It's risky. And so then she obviously gets led up to date, and then we come up with a plan. And that everyone's like, "Oh, I'll go. I'll fight the battle. I'll go." You know, and Rhaenyra thinks that it would just make sense for her to go. Like, sure, babe. Like, yeah, why don't you just hop on the dragon and go end the war right now? Like, what are we
yep.
talking about? Stay here.
Yeah, there's definitely a parallel too with her and her brother Aegon.
Right.
Just in the sense that, like, and she spoke about it, like she inherited, 80 years of peace from her father. And that's the thing with both of these potential rulers.
Uh-huh.
It only was gonna work. Like it was only gonna work for Aegon to be, the king, or Rhaenyra to be the queen, if peace continued. And we're seeing that, like, no, like this, like neither one of these people know how to run an army, or
Yep.
or run a, conduct themselves in a war, like
Yep.
themselves. Like they
Yep.
might have people in their council that know what they're doing, but like they don't know how to do it, whatever. So like the best case scenario would have been like if everything was peaceful,
Yep.
but then, obviously them trying to usurp the throne made it unpeaceful. But it's like, and even with Rhaenyra, like, yeah, I think the father anticipated there would be a little bit of resistance, but like
Turmoil.
that's
Yeah.
why he wasn't trying to go to war with nobody, because it was
Right.
like, all right, man, when this does happen, you know what I mean? We got to make sure it's peace. Like nobody has any beef with anybody, and
Yeah.
then like hopefully we can accept it. And if we build up our family the way that we should, and keep the bloodline strong, then it's gonna be good. But like, no, like neither one of these people were prepared to take rule when there was some conflict.
Yeah, and it's certainly the king had a plan, and it certainly isn't going in any of that direction.
That's why they call her the whore of
Oh,
Dragonstone.
dude. So right, let's get that scene's next. So it's like so we get basically Cole on a rampage, right? We find out that Cole is just taking fucking armies and castles left and right, and we can't because Rhaenyra is not anywhere near her where she should be because she's off Gilligallen with Alicent. We can't respond. And so basically it's a bend the knee situation. And we get the second beheading of the episode. R.I.P. The first death of the episode. Well, there's many deaths, so it's fine. We won't count them. But Lord Darkland, and just, man, for his 30 seconds on the screen, just spitting nothing but facts and
They no
games.
business.
Just like, yo, bro, you're not fit to wear the cloak. You're going to get yours. And then whatever, Cole doesn't, and just shoot, second beheading of the episode. Insanity. And so you can kind of see through this episode also too, the kind of the turmoil and back and forth. How do you feel about the relationship between Cole and Gawain Hightower?
Gawain doesn't trust this guy.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's like, you don't even know your way around. Like I can tell you wasn't even raised around here. Like
Right.
you don't even know your way around. And he's like, yo, the direction is this way. And he's like, yeah, oh, is it? You know, but it's because he had this secret plan.
Right.
But I don't think Gawain is like, he's not really feeling this guy. I don't think he even trusts his leadership. Because he's just like, yo, man, this is not how war is done. This is not how war is done. And then, if anything, I think you want to tell, like, I'm a pretty high ranking soldier, and I kind of matter. You know what I mean? In this world, like, I matter more than you do.
Right.
Like, I really do. I matter because I'm Queen Dowager's brother. And it's like, maybe you should like let me in on the plan instead of just
very interesting.
Like you saved my life. Yeah, I mean, yes, you did save my life, but it's like, bro,
let him in. Why wouldn't you? Right. Like arguing in front of the soldiers isn't good for anyone. Like, why wouldn't you just say, hey man, look, here's the sitch. We've got a 3 million year old, 500,000 pound dragon sleeping in the woods right over there. So just calm down, bro. Like he's taking a nizap, like and then he'll wake up soon, grumpy Vhagar. And so, very, very interesting. Just Cole on a rampage using his power. Like it's just another disgusting display of who this man is. We hate him. We hate him so much.
We hate him so much.
I thought maybe he died this episode, but then of course he just woke right back up, didn't he? We get another beautiful scene where Daemon follows One-Eye Daemon. Hilarious that he's hallucinating Aemond as himself. Yes. I don't know what that like. Why wouldn't it just be Aemond if he's haunting you? But like, because they're like the same person, kind like the second son, like so they're kind of the same in one. Is that what we were to take from that doppelganger kind of moment?
Yeah, yep, definitely. And I just, like I said, just even their names, it's just one letter moved around. Yeah, I mean, it's just the D moved to the back. Yeah, I mean, so they really are like
the same. Yeah, you're right. Damn, I didn't
realize that.
No, that's me.
Yeah, you take the D from David, but at the end it's Aemond. Like there you now,
go. Okay. Wow, right. So that's okay. Well, look at that. The parallels are so crazy.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they are definitely the same. You know, not the same, but yeah, it's a paradox. You know what I'm saying? You know, similarities but difference, obviously.
Yeah. So, and then Alys Rivers just comes out and she's just spitting facts too. She's like, "Hey man, you're hallucinating. I know what's going on. Don't deny it. What'd you see? Tell me about it. What'd you see? Like this place will destroy you." And he's like, "Oh, you're just a bastard baby. I don't trust you, but I'm going to drink your magic juice." That makes sense. So it just, he's losing it. It's the curse. It's the wall. It's like, why is he even just leave your dragon there to protect it and then fuck it. Like, I don't know. There's gotta be a plan, something. Why is he just, it's annoying. He's losing it. He's hallucinating now his wife. Good to see her back on the screen. Not even paying attention. He's not even coherent for our boy coming back to like, you summoned me, dude. What's the plan? And he's like, okay, do I have your army or not? Yes. Like Daemon's just hung over and he has a headache and he doesn't want to deal with this war stuff right now.
Yeah.
And it's so very interesting to see how that story folds out.
Yep. Yeah. He was talking to Willem Blackwood, who is again the young boy that last season who tried to marry Rhaenyra, even though he wasn't.
Yep.
Even though he barely could, he probably his balls didn't even drop yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he barely hit puberty.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so that is good to see him, and I love that. I love that. I love when the show has like those full circle moments, and you're like, oh, okay, like that's what's up. Like,
yep. And as soon as he said, I tried to get Rhaenyra's hand, I was like, oh, that's him. That's the guy. We'll have a picture on the screen, of course. And so then that's pretty much the wrap of the first half of the episode. And the back half, I have a few notes and a few quotes, but basically I was locked in. You know what I mean? As soon as Rhaenys says, hey, the boy's not going, he's too important, bitch, you're definitely not going, I'll go. And so we get, everyone's gearing up. The king realizes he's not even, like, no one actually gives a shit about him. So he's just going to have a fun field trip and ride on he's taking some shots before he goes. Like, it's dude, the king riding drunk into battle without a plan is probably one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Great to see his dragon again. Sunfyre, I believe the name is.
Yes, Sunfyre,
deemed the most beautiful dragon in the land.
It's nice. It's a nice dragon. Yeah, yellow. It's like yellow or goldish. Yeah, it's a pretty cool dragon. Yeah, man, and this Dance of the Dragons. It basically, Cole and Aemond planned a trap, and we didn't realize it, but it was the whole thing was a trap. And when I seen Vhagar just like chilling there, and Vhagar was ready to go, and he's like, no, not yet, baby, not yet. We'll get there. We'll get there, but.
The size and the speed, like just watching how slow he has to gain his momentum because of how big he is, and then just him on the ground, it's like T-Rex size, kind of like, it's just this, it's so hard to comprehend, but they make it so easy to visually see, like when the other dragons are on the screen with him. I mean, so yeah, this secret plan with Christian Cole and Aemond, just what an ambush, what a surprise. So so as this battle is now commencing, we've got Rhaenys on the back of Meleys, and then she's burning the troops on the ground. And Christian Cole's waiting for it to happen. And so the king arrives first. And I mean, we knew this was gonna happen. Like, we knew that this had to have been like the king riding drunk into battle. We've already heard he has no experience. Like, he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yeah.
And just the pure, just raw adrenaline of the attack was just fascinating. The visuals of the claws and the blood and the damage and just the fire, and that first portion of the battle was it started insane, and then you just have Vhagar coming in, and fuck it, bro. Aemond, he attacked the king. He burns him. He falls out of the sky. I only have down Aemond attack the king with 1,000 question marks. So here's what leads me to my now final, which will probably be open-ended question for this man. What game is he playing? What's the plan? What's his MO? Was that still revenge for the brothel?
Oh, it was definitely.
Does he want to be king? Like, where, like, or can so now if he dies, if Aegon dies, which I don't think he is, correct? Like,
and that's the thing. I'm like, is he dead? I hope he is, but like, I don't think. Yeah, I think
he is. We hear Allison ask the same question, so we'll find that out obviously next episode. But so where am I missing something? Do we know where do you think, what's his play here? It's just a simple revenge for embarrassment?
Well, I think revenge for embarrassment, but he feels that he does feel that he's more fit to be king. He's had those conversations already with a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And like obviously he's more geared up to be that ruler. I think it could be a couple things. It could be it's the revenge for the embarrassment, right? For the brothel.
Yep.
But then also this is like he gets to show up his uncle. You know what I'm saying? He gets to show up Daemon. And it's like, haha, see, like you see what you like, yeah, I got some of your traits, you know what I mean? But like this
Right.
is how it's done, uncle. You know what I mean? This is how it's done.
Right.
This is how you take over and this is how you rule.
In order to do what's necessary to move forward in this war, I am taking the sacrifice of, yeah, I Dracarys the king, but at the except, bitch, I got him.
Yep.
She's down. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and
like,
it's like Aim is like, I got my own shit to deal with too. Like I'm not perfect. Yeah, I mean,
right.
I got my own emotional things, whatever. But like I'm in the game and I'm focused. I'm not
Yeah.
letting nothing distract me. And granted, some of that what Damon's going through, that's some, maybe it is the haunting and like, it's there's some
Right.
supernatural effect. They
Yeah.
saying that the bed that he was sleeping on was made out of the same wood. It was made out of that weird wood. So
Right.
maybe that's why his dreams are probably the
Right.
way they
Yep.
are. But at the same time, he's the most determined and narrow focused, laser focused person in this whole show.
Yep.
Him and maybe his grandfather Otto Hightower for like
Right.
they like because even Rhaenyra don't know what the hell she doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and she was up until this very moment was relying on Rhaenys to kind of guide her now and I thought, and they brought it up in this episode, I thought Rhaenyra made her hand, but I guess that they
Yes.
said that she never was officially. It was just kind of, kind of hearsay at the time, but she was obviously on her way to becoming Rhaenyra's official hand if that was ever a role to
Yes.
be given. So, yeah, so let's talk about Rhaenys in this moment, man. So she
Yeah,
goes,
she's a fighter, man, and I didn't even know. Like that's cool because when we think about the dragons, it's always like Dracarys, it's just the fire. But like no, like I didn't even know like the dragons have other attacks. You know what I mean? And like so, Meleys masters that little that claw
uh-huh,
ripping
uh-huh,
strategy, and
yep,
like yeah, that's what initially got Sunfyre
yep,
kind of like out of here, and then
yep.
what's his name with the finishing blow. Now the dragon is likely dead though, right? Sunfyre is dead. So what happens if you're a dragon rider and you lose your dragon? Are you like, does that take away your like? Obviously, you could be a king without being a dragon rider
Yeah,
because
I'm not sure. I'm not sure
like
what the
because I would feel
rules.
like that's like being like neutered almost. Like it's like
Yeah,
it's like
right, right. Yeah, no, that's like yeah. That's part of your
you're
bloodline now.
disarmed. You don't have no weapon now. Like
So,
it's like
I'm glad you brought that up. So, they asked, her name is Eve Best, is the name of the actress who plays Rhaenys. They asked her on her opinion of that whole exact topic, why the boys are out here just using Dracarys all the time, and why Rhaenys is using different moves for her Pokemon. And so she basically, I have this quote. I'll read it now. It's kind of long, but bear with me.
yeah.
She said, they're just like boys with guns. They want to maximize the amount of carnage. And there's something, very, I don't want to generalize it, but it's a very male thing to do. Whereas she very specifically, going for the dragon, let's take out the weaponry. Like, don't burn everyone else randomly. There's a gritted teethness about it because these guys are her nephews. However, appalling badly they're behaved and how they're behaving and however dangerous they are. Aemon is responsible for Luke's death, and at the same time, they're her family too. So there was a lot of reluctance and knowledge that they're effectively pushing the red button, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the responsibility of that is so huge that it has to be a kamikaze mission because how can one live with it? And that sort of samurai thing of when she comes back in, she could have escaped, but she turns around, and to me, that's pure. Whatever the Arthean knight, Lancelot, samurai. It's the noble warrior thinking, and that she's not just going to save herself. She's going to finish this battle. And so just kind of a real kind of retrospective there. I noticed that as well. She never said Dracarys. I think it sometimes her dragon was blasting some flames just to counteract the other ones. But like,
and blasting to kill the people real quick. Like,
yeah,
I mean, to
right,
kill a couple,
sure.
so to kind of clear it out, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looked like I didn't think that her dragon would beat Vhagar, but like it wounded Vhagar. So Vhagar is I mean, wounded it. And I didn't know, I thought, okay. I don't know what was about to happen, but when Vhagar when she drives back over and then he just snatches it, and I was like,
yeah,
oh,
it's that moment because so right before that too, when she like kind of seemed like maybe she was flying away, like she was injured, she was done. She and a lot of people on Twitter were saying they didn't notice this, but she strapped herself in.
Yeah, I did notice that.
So that like no matter what happens, she is with that dragon. She is not letting go. She is not falling off, and so she committed to no matter what. And so I mean, just that last flight she took when it got quiet and the sun comes over the horizon, you know that Vhagar is coming right up from behind you. And in his signature move, we get that last look between her and the dragon. Like, I'm sorry.
He like really bit that dragon's neck off, bro.
Just straight through it. I mean, just an incredible moment. And then you see her falling
the
in
face.
That camera shot.
That was so sad. That was like, my God.
And then so now, just the name of the episode, I think, was called The Gold Dragon and the Red, or The Red Dragon and the Gold One. And they're both down, both presumably dead. And so in that moment too, I thought that was it for Christian Cole. Lights out, blackout.
I know, yeah.
And this would be my only negative about the episode, maybe just as far as the editing. When they cut to black, to me, my mind automatically goes, okay, next scene. When you cut to black and then continue the scene, that confuses me. Like, why has everything else been a consecutive cut back and forth? But now we cut to black. They did it twice here at the end.
Yes.
Fine. I'm not knocking it.
Yeah, because when the episode ended, it was like, is it over this time?
I thought the episode ended 3 times, right? I was like, oh shit. But then they came back. And then they came back. And then, so fine, whatever. But just a pet peeve of mine. But so Cole goes down, then he wakes up, unfortunately. He sees the king go down, Your Grace. He runs and runs and runs. And the closing scene of the episode just,
the closing scene, I think he realized that Aemond was about to, he was about to finish the job.
You think so?
Yeah, he had the sword out. And then he's like, Aemond. And then he was like,
you're right.
Let me put that joint away. He was about to finish his brother off.
You're right. Oh, wow.
He was about to finish the job. And then it wasn't for, and I think, I think he's probably more loyal to Aemond, and because Aemond is more with it in terms of like war and things like that. But like, I'm fucking your mom, bro. And I cannot sit here and allow you to kill your brother in front of my face. Even though you don't know him, even though at the very least you don't know I'm smashing your moms, but like I do love that girl, and I can't let you do that. I can't let you do that in front of my face. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't even supposed to be out here.
Yeah,
he wasn't even supposed to be here.
Right.
Here now, I am sworn to protect him.
Yeah,
and look out for his best interest. So yeah, no, Aemond was about to finish the job until Christian yelled his name. And then he realized, like, oh shit, somebody's watching me. Oh shit, because you can't be a kingslayer.
Wow,
you can't be a kingslayer.
Dude, I mean, but he basically,
familicide. That's like you can't.
And so like obviously, right? So like obviously,
fraternicide.
So obviously, he's gonna go back and blame this on Rhaenys, right? Like he's not just gonna go back, like oh, wow.
That could be the story. The story could be like, because essentially, she did do the wounding of the dragon. Like the dragon was gonna bleed out. Yeah, remember? Oh my god, that was so crazy when the dragon's blood spilled on all the people.
Yeah, and I would imagine it's probably like poisonous. Like it's.
You're dead. I'm dead. If that touch, I'm.
Yeah, right. Like it seemed like they were like hurt by it. Like they were screaming and it was So
Yo.
it just, man, the whole battle, it's what we've been waiting for. It's what fans have wanted since the season finale. We knew it was coming. And I think just overall, the king coming into battle was a huge surprise. Him falling was crazy. So yeah, I think, overall, just an incredible, incredible episode. I
Yep.
think,
Incredible.
any other notes or any other facts you can think of? We've got
It was dope. So I think it's gonna be significant. Rhaenyra, she does share the Song of Ice and Fire to her son Jace, right?
Yep,
I mean, some of that was off camera, but
yep,
like so there's some significance, and she's trying to legitimize and like trying to
yep,
get that story out there because, and she can't say it to just everybody, but like
right,
trying to get that story out there that
right,
like, hey, this is what legitimacy means. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, even if Aegon dies and Aemond takes over or whatever, like they still don't know what they don't know what they don't know. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like that. And it's like they can't really be if without knowing that dream,
yeah,
can they fully be legitimate? And it's like
right,
maybe not.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that. Other than that, yeah, I think I'm good, man.
So the trailer for next week, obviously, just a few things to note. Obviously we get the aftermath. Everyone, like Cole and his army and all of them, are back at King's Landing. And the people of Twitter have said that this is like the most high tower thing. Like even the Targaryens still worship dead dragons, and there's not a single Targaryen king, I think maybe one, has ever paraded a head of a dragon through the streets to like show their power or whatever. And so like that's coming. So obviously that's just a high tower thing. They take Meleys and just parade her head through the town.
At least,
And
Rhaenys the traitor. Yep.
and then the last bit of note is just we see Daemon just chopping wood, like rebuilding Harrenhal by himself. Like, bro, like again, we're just we're just gonna have another episode of Daemon just at Harrenhal by himself, not securing armies and not caring about what's happening. He's just splitting wood, and he's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He reminds me of the Hound, like going through that self journey. I would say like
yeah,
Arya, but like Arya at least was making moves. You know what I mean? Like Arya,
right,
like when Arya was going through her little journey, self journey, she was like getting shit done. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And learning
yeah,
how to be a fucking the many faced
yeah,
god. You know what I
yeah,
mean? An
right.
assassin. But like but yeah, he's just kind of like wandering around the earth and like just like lost and and that's the thing, man.
And he's
That's
just
why it's like.
staring at goats and shit. Like it was that this episode or last
Yeah,
one?
that
Like
was
he's
well. There
just,
was a goat in the there was a goat in the castle in this barren ass castle.
yeah, and he's just like, oh, that's a nice goat. Like, okay, let's get, like, come on, we've got things like to do, and your best suggestion is to kill Grandpa. Okay,
Yeah.
get me the next guy. Let's figure this out. Like, we need to make some moves. So yeah, obviously, Game of Thrones and even House of Dragon is notorious. Every time we get one of these insane episodes, I'm sure next week we won't hold it to as high standards, but obviously we'll push forward, I'm sure.
For sure, for sure.
All right, dude. So we're halfway through. We've got 4 weeks left, 4 more episodes. I'm assuming next week, not much is going to happen. And then episodes 6, 7, and 8. I imagine we'll have one more explosion. I can't imagine we won't have one more big battle. I'm assuming with the dragons after everyone's done recovering, we find out what happens to Aegon. Let's think. Predictions for next week. Do you think Aegon is alive? How long do we still have him as the king?
Yeah.
Do we know who comes next?
It will be Aemon.
Okay.
Because he doesn't because he doesn't have a male because if we're following that, he doesn't have a male heir
Right.
anymore. You know what I'm saying? So like no, it would go it would go to Aemon. Well, and it still would be illegitimate because
Right.
it's supposed to be Rhaenyra's.
Usurped. So
So yeah, so and that's the thing. So the way they doing this show is like, obviously, Rhaenyra is the protagonist, the main protagonist,
right.
but they're trying to like, and that's just how shows are. They gotta beat you up for a while. They gotta beat you up, beat you up, beat you up,
Yep.
beat you up for a while, and then
Yep.
we're gonna get some type of thing. But I think Team Black is gonna take a couple more losses, more beat downs before they get right. I mean, it's gonna be something like. I predict it's gonna be just a failure in strategy, maybe with Green, where Team Black gets lucky and they fortify something
right.
that gives them a little bit of an advantage, but like they are, even though they still have an advantage with the dragons, with Daemon being in the way, they are and not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
They are at a loss right now. But like in the preview, it did make it seem like they keep talking about River Run. So like something is gonna go down at River Run.
Well, and that too. So then if that's involved, I mean, so we can inevitably assume that like with the whole who's taking over conversation and now the bastard, a Fairchild, Alan, like Corlys is probably on the list to go sometime soon. And then we know, unfortunately, spoiler alert, but from the lore, Daemon and both Aemond both go at some point. So that's inevitably in the future. I don't know necessarily when, but so that's so those are definitely, that's two, at least two more knocks for the Black. One for the Green. I can't imagine Aegon survives much longer. So then who do they have left? Like Helena, she's got a dragon, but who knows if she's gonna ride out. So we'll see. Darren, I guess, is still in play. Yep. Cole is still alive. So yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully I'll do my best to stay. I now have to stay off Twitter 72 hours before and after the damn episode. It's like, God. But I mean, until next time, dude, any closing thoughts, any final words, anything else we need to discuss here?
That's it, man. I mean, like I said, this episode felt like a good mid-season finale type deal.
Yeah.
And we got to pick up the pieces next week, and we'll see where we're at. But go Team Black, man. Come on, recover.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's like we would just. It's almost as if we would just need like Daemon and Rhaenyra to like just ride out together on their dragons and like just handle business, and like that should be like it, like while Daemon and Aemon are fighting, Rhaenyra and Helena, I get, like, you know what I mean? So is that the deciding factor? Once you're out of dragons, that's pretty much it? Or are you still
right.
Do we continue fighting without them, I guess? So we got to just kind of wait and see. Smoke we still have, I guess. The new, Bela and Jace. So the kids are still there. All fun and games. All right, man. Well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, another episode of the Recap and Record podcast under your belts. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on those YouTube shorts. Check out the YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. Hit the like button. Share this video. Hey, it's free. It doesn't cost you a penny to do it. And it only takes about 14 seconds. So do it multiple times a day. And until next time, you can catch me on the Wad Pod. You can catch Los over on 280 Plus. Links everywhere. You know where to find us. We'll see you next week, friends. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.